All right, we are live right now. It is Happy National Cinema Day.
Yeah.
Actually, that was 22 minutes ago. It was National Cinema Day.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, it's a little late.
Well,
We just got back from the movies.
yes.
We just got done watching two movies.
4 hours of sitting.
Yeah, that's not okay. Um, that cat.
Okay.
Um, our cat just tried to jump
She
on my
likes
chair.
movies too, apparently. She was like, hey, include me in this.
Starts to play it too. She has like the zoomies right now.
Yeah,
So.
she's wound for sound. She thinks we need to go to bed. Don't you?
Yeah, don't you? Yeah, there she goes. All right. So, anyways, we 4 hours of movies in the theater, but actually today it was only $3 movie ticket day.
Yeah.
So
Can't
we
do
got
that.
yeah we I'd never done two movies in one day before at a movie theater.
No.
I probably won't do it again.
Have you ever thought of like walking from a movie to another movie?
I have not. I actually.
You've never thought about that? I've thought about that
I
before.
no, because
I've never done it because I would get tackled. I feel like.
I feel like it was stealing. Isn't that like
I
technically
mean,
stealing though?
yes.
So I know
But
I couldn't.
I know we're too good. We're good children. We would never.
I thought about it. I guess
You have
I
thought
guess
about
I guess
it.
I have thought
Okay,
about it.
you're acting like you're so much
So
better
when,
than I am.
when I was a kid, I thought about it, but as an
You
adult,
thought
no.
about it.
As an adult, no, because I figure somebody working in a theater would be like, yeah, don't go in there.
Yeah.
You have to pay for your ticket, and
Oh,
tickets are expensive right now.
I don't feel like anybody cares now because everyone's just like, oh, whatever. Like,
I
go,
mean,
let's do it. I
that's
don't care.
fair point. That's a very fair point. But yeah, we got done watching Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. It's a long title, and
It's not that long.
I
I've
don't.
seen longer.
It's a long title. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
And then we watched Bullet Train. So, major spoiler alert: we're going to spoil most of the movie, both of the movies we watched today. So if you have are wanting to watch those movies, come back later.
Yeah, especially to my mom who watches this. Um, please zoom through the Bullet Train because you really got to go see it. Like, I think she'd really like it. So, I need her to just specifically zoom through this. But yeah. Okay, so Honk for Jesus. This is the one that I wanted to see because I didn't really want to see Bullet Train. Um,
So yes, Home for Jesus was the first movie we watched because it was the early show, kind of.
Early-ish,
Early, it's 7
as
o'clock.
early as it can get.
Yeah, so um, I was kind of expecting more.
Yeah, I feel bad because it's like I love Jordan Peele, so then my brain is like, you must love this too. You must, and then when you don't, it feels bad because you wanted to, you know. But not everything can be a banger. Like you can't continuously make bangers. You have to have one that's like maybe not the greatest in the
Well, to
world.
be fair, it's actually not his movie. He was just executive producer,
Oh,
but
okay.
it is his production, Monkey Paw.
And his
So
production company.
and
Okay.
I kind of could tell when Jordan Peele kind of stepped in because you see those different shots of um, mockumentary to dramatic white shots.
That was weird, wasn't that? Wasn't that weird? Okay, so I didn't express that to you during the time, but I felt like it was almost a mess up. You know, like I
I
didn't
don't
know if
think it
that was
is.
correct or not.
I don't think it is. I think it's actually a tone shift on when the scene is about to get from
Serious?
comedy to serious. I think that's the point of the documentary and the wide shot and be the tone just got darker all of a sudden. Every time they do it, it's cause if you think about it, the one time they did it was when um the kids show up in the car
Yeah.
in the Mustang
They did it for a minute there. I
or
mean,
Camaro.
they didn't. Yeah. Well, I guess they did it for the whole duration, but like,
Well, they did
you,
that. Then
you
they went after the whole conversation there. they went back to the mockumentary, and he's like, "All right, everybody, it's fine. We're gonna keep talking about my message and everything." And you see Trinity walking in the background,
Yeah.
and then it goes back to the wide shot again.
Well, but then when she got really serious inside the church, it was it was weird because okay, that's a serious part. That's a really serious part. So why didn't they do it there? You know what I mean?
That still probably was part of serious tone, and it was just trying to. I think just trying to make it as a joke, but it was still a serious turning point kind of thing.
I was waiting for that jump out surprise, especially with the director, because the only thing that really ever escalated or, ended up being the climax of what was happening with the director was her confronting her and being like, "Oh, you speak. You finally speak."
That was a good point there. I actually like that. I was like, okay, we're actually getting somewhere good.
It
We're
was it was
tense.
it was going there, but then it didn't peak because then they didn't follow up on her. Like she just kind of was like, I don't know. There was nothing that leveled it out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it tapered off when she said that. Like it just moved on. And so I just think that I wish they would have done more with that. I think the scandal was very confusing. I don't think they specifically stated what his scandal was, which was hard because I know that in the mockumentary he was trying to cover it up.
Right.
And he was trying to not talk about it, but they did a really crappy job of covering it up. If
Well,
that was like what they were going
well, the
for.
whole point was that he told them several times to get out of the room, and they still got hold of the phone call of the attorney and what was his name, Lee something, Lee and Trinity, Lee
Curtis
Charles,
Lee.
Curtis Lee,
Yeah.
Lee
Or
Curtis,
Lee Curtis,
Lee
yeah.
Curtis. That's what
Which
his
is
name.
the
That's right.
that's the stupidest name I've ever.
And
I'm so sorry if somebody has that name out there. I'm just like, that's so stupid. And they're just like teardrops. But
I think it's going to like his first name and middle name. I think it's because some people do that.
I think it's just like a typical pastor kind of thing where it's like Billy Bob or Jamie Lee or something. I don't. I guess that's Jamie Lee Curtis I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, like when
Right.
they have the complicated name. But it always like every time she'd say it, I was like, oh my god, just call him Curtis. Don't call him Curtis Lee. I hate it. But I think that was the whole point. Like,
but yeah, so they definitely got a hold of a phone call, which kind of points to the whole situation of the whole movie, which changes the serious tone of what's been going on in the background, and that's what they were there for because they're trying to clean up they're trying to be new, but I think the whole point of the movie is we're not supposed to root for these people. We're not supposed to feel sorry for them.
well, and that's the thing too. The villain changed for me because I'm looking at her every time in the beginning. It was as if her relationship with Curtis Lee, she every time I looked at her face, she was like, "Oh, whatever." She every time I looked at her face though, her face was like eyes big and like help me kind of eyes, like I'm trapped. And then it kind of shifted and I kind of saw how hungry she was just to appear nice and to keep her lovely things, you know what I mean? Where I could see him saying like obviously he was the villain most of all. Yes. But I could see that she was he was ready to drop the church probably. I think he would have had she not been pushing him and like pushing him and pushing him and pushing him to do these things.
I don't think he would have. I really don't.
You don't think
because
so?
he's a pastor. He wants the audience. That's what he want. He didn't really want the possessions. He wants the audience. That's what he really cared about. She wanted the possessions.
I think
because you think about it, she always cared about
hats.
Well, the hats, but look how expensive they were.
Yeah.
$2,000 for a bonnet.
For a bonnet, I don't know if it was really a bonnet. It was like it was like a horse racing hat.
But it's like what most women wear at churches. They wear this kind of hats.
Yeah.
But I would never pay $2,000 for it.
And it was a butt ugly hat. Okay.
It was not good. And he
was
kind of
so
caught out on it.
she was so like defensive about that hat. I was like, girl, that hat is bad. You gotta take that thing off. It looks like Saturn. It has two rings.
Right. So I mean, but yeah. So you look at their house, their cars, the pool, and that's why the whole thing was because they wanted their possessions and they wanted that so people can keep donating to them, because he even talked about the entire movie. He talked about what he had: a jet, a private jet.
Oh yeah, like
his Rolls Royce, everything. Like he had 4 or 5 different cars, a mansion. He didn't need all this, but yet he needed an audience so that way he can keep his possessions.
And I saw the comedy in that. I saw the comedy of like being like repeatedly telling your congregation this is all I have. And like them just being like, oh wow, even though they know that that's their money. Right. That is their money they're putting in. Mm-hmm. That is being used to afford him Mustangs or Prada suits or whatever. I got that, but I also thought, how can somebody be that stupid that even after a scandal, when they're supposed to be appearing as like humble and mellow and like I don't know, there's just no self-awareness, and I felt like in reality we like somebody, if that scandal came out, they'd want to really do up the humility.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't see that. But I thought there was some interesting parts to it. I just think it fell a little bit short of what I wanted, especially the ending. I was like, it kind of left me high and dry.
Especially the driver coming and he's doing donuts in the parking lot, and then she's just ignoring what he's talking to her, and she's straight up ignoring him, looking straight at the camera.
Yeah.
I was expecting a drive-by shooting or something. I was expecting something bad to happen, but
you have been wrongly wired by Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy has ruined you.
Jordan Peele. I mean, I watched Game of Thrones. I watched a lot of stuff that just ruins me. Like you just don't know what's going to happen. You're like expecting the worst to happen. So it's like whatever.
I just feel like Ryan Murphy's always like a turn of events, and it's somebody who's dying. It's something crazy.
It's always somebody getting stabbed too.
Somebody getting stabbed.
And it's like, bro, get a new niche or something. Like shoot somebody. Stop.
We just discussed that tonight. How we like sword fights though better than
sword fights are cool,
or knife fights because it's more.
But they're not like assassins. Like all right, we're going through your neck. We're going straight through, like we're right in front of you. We're gonna see who's the best here, and then we'll stab you right through the heart or something. That's cool.
Yeah.
Not hey, I'm behind you.
Pew pew. Oh,
no, it's through the neck.
Oh, you don't like? Okay, well, I mean, it depends on the time and the person. If it's like an essential person, I'd be like, what? But if it was like just
most of American Horror Story, it's just people come from behind. All right, next gone. You're good. I was like, bro, come on. Like, shoot somebody. Stop stabbing people. I know people have guns in that area. I know they do. They're just like, hey, there's a knife there. Let me stab you real quick. No, stop. Stop stabbing people.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Well, and I was going to say, sorry, I just now thought about what I was going to say about the villains. And then it changed to her mother. And I was like,
yeah,
that kind of was like touching me in my soul, because I was like, that's so sad, because there are so like, have you ever seen a church leader divorce their wife and still have a church? Like, I've never seen that. And
what really bothered me was what she said about her dad.
Yeah.
It's like, did you ever feel trapped? Like, how do you feel free now? It's like when I buried him.
Well, she was like, because every time she would feel upset or trapped or like she wanted to leave her husband, she would go to the Bible and like read verses. And she's like, well, when did you stop going to the Bible and reading verses? Because of Daddy. And And then it was like, oh, well, I never stopped. It's like, oh, and like when he was in the grave,
But
then
she
I
said,
stopped or
but she said she
whatever.
felt more free when she had to bury him, which kind of, goes to the point of you have to stay with your husband
Well,
because
yeah, like,
he's the one that provides. Like,
well, and then the whole idea of that, if in a church setting, like, if you were to divorce your partner, then that's you seem like an unreliable,
it's a
even
sin.
no matter how much your partner has done to you. You know what I mean?
I think they view it as a sin.
Yeah.
I think that's what the big issue is, and then it'll cause a huge distraction in the church,
Mm.
or it'll cause a division or something. Okay.
But I don't know. It was an okay movie. It just wasn't like, especially the honking part. I kind of got tired after a while, which I know that's the whole point. I guess they were.
I think there's some good moments in that part because again, it
The
showed
mime was that was a weird
that
thing.
was.
I was trying to.
I'm,
I
I'm still trying to figure out why the mind part, because I mean,
It seemed too literal to say that um he is now directly calling her a clown. Like, he is now legitimately saying, you are a clown, wear this makeup, you're a clown now
I
because of
think
all these things I've done to you and you keep coming back. And like, but I felt like that was too literal and it just didn't.
I think has a deeper meaning somewhere behind it.
I
I'm sure
know.
it has to
And
be, but like the very first instance you see somebody is a younger woman courting her,
yeah.
and she just walks away. And then the second instance is a woman that usually goes to church, I think, and cussing her out because what the husband did, the pastor
Mm-hmm.
did to the young adults. And then you go to the young man in the car to stop the traffic, got out of the car and confronted
Yeah.
Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
So I think there's some good moments there. I think then you have a mime, and then it got tense after that because the producer, is like, "Hey, why don't you just leave?" And that was a big question, and that led to
Well, and
her.
that line was really good of like, I would rather kill my husband than leave him because it would be it's kind of sad that a lot of churches actually do find that as the better solution. Holy cannoli.
Hey, you stop.
Can you chill, cat? It's not your time right now. It's not your podcast, man. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I don't think that I probably watched it again though.
I don't know. I like to have a discussion. Like I usually read, it says it before. I like to go to Reddit discussion threads and see what other people's thoughts are on movies, but there's nothing,
Did
which is very weird.
Yeah. Did you go to the Bullet Train one yet?
Not yet. I'm saving that. I might look at it after this episode.
Okay.
But I already have a lot of thoughts on it, anyways.
All right, so let's just get into
You
it.
want to get
I
into it?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like this one. Which I don't. I You always you go so excited whenever you find something that I don't think I'm gonna like, and then I like. Which
It doesn't happen
okay,
often, though. It really doesn't.
due credit, you can have that. But I'm just saying, I think it's good whenever I don't think I'll like things, and then I like them because those are the best kinds of things, you know.
Yeah, but it's always a win for me because most of the time my suggestions are never hits for you.
Well, that's not always true,
I said most of the time. I said
um,
always. I said most of the time.
but let's just talk about this amazing cast. Like, I don't think one person was cast incorrectly. Like, it was perfect. It was.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Joey King could have been casted differently, but
Wow!
I'm
How
just.
dare you, Joey
But
King?
I mean, I think
I love
that's
her.
the only one I was like maybe it, but she did a great job. She did.
She
But
did, and
but
she's not British, and that was her.
no, but I'm saying like she's the only one I could see casted differently. She's the only one I could see, but she did a phenomenal job. She really did. So That's my only, again, just a little small critique, but nothing.
Yeah. Um, I I don't usually like Brad Pitt. I think I'm just still salty about him and Jennifer Aniston from like 6 million years ago. I was a kid and that really affected me. It really hurt that he didn't like Jennifer Aniston because like she's the most gorgeous person in the world. How could you not love her? How dare you?
It's celebrities.
It's celebrities. But I loved him in this. He was so funny. Like he had the best lines, and it was so great because he was like an assassin, but not really an
No,
assassin, like just a grab bag person.
He was just like a regular dude, basically. Like he just
Yeah.
he just want to get his stuff done and go home.
Yeah, like
he even said several times in the movie, he's like, I just want to get off this train and just chill and like have fun, man.
And I like how he'd like kill people and they'd be like, "Oh man, like I didn't want to do that. Like, come on."
He didn't mean to kill these people. He wasn't trying to kill people.
Especially the snake venom. He's like, "Can I get you a blanket? Can I get you a water? Oh, you drink some water.
Can I hold your hand?
Drink some. Oh, you wanna?" I was just like, "Oh, it's so good." And he's like, "You should have been more prepared." Oh, I'm sorry. I'm mansplaining again. I'm sorry.
The mansplaining part got me.
That was
That was awesome.
hilarious.
That was great. It was such a great. He did a phenomenal job in this movie.
Yeah.
He killed every scene. He really did. Like most of his scenes were just like just him. I feel like just him being himself. Like just like, hey man, calm down. He said bro and dude so many times. He's like, hey, chill out.
Well, and I liked it because I feel like, and I again maybe I don't watch enough Brad Pitt movies to know, but it doesn't seem like he lets himself get too silly too much. You know what I mean? It's usually a very stiff role for him and very serious. And then this time he could just break out and let his personality show and not make it so serious the whole time.
It kind of like reminded me of like Ryan Reynolds kind of breaking out. It's like he's been so many serious roles, and now he's like Deadpool was like, all right, I only got this cage, and look at him now. He's just constantly funny all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now him being at the end of this is the biggest spoiler of all. Like we find out
it's not really the end of it, but middle of it.
Yeah.
That he was the reason that all this happened.
Yeah.
He's not even in the movie.
And he's not even
he's in the movie,
but he pops up for like 10 seconds. That and I was pointing out to you that all these people, like we have Brad Pitt, we have Domino, I don't know her real name. Okay.
There's Ozzy Beats, he has
I just know her as Domino.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Who looked good.
I was just like fanning myself, like,
I will
oh my gosh, I can't breathe right now. I will say,
like, at first I was like, okay, he looks fine in a suit, but when we started getting roughed up, I was like, all right, dude,
when
you're looking good, dude.
Which is great. You gotta watch Kick-Ass. You've never watched Kick-Ass, have you?
One or two, no.
Oh my gosh, it's so okay. Listen, it's cheesy, but it's so good. And the second one, and then he looks really, really hot, and his eyes are just like piercing. He pierces you with his eyes. Oh, and then this one, and I was like, I'm feeling Tangerine. I am feeling him. Like he is. Whew.
Should I leave the room?
Yes, because I was like, this man, I love this man right here. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I got a little carried away. Go ahead. What were we talking about?
Like the casting, and then Sandra Bullock shows up.
Yes, that hair. I'm starting to rethink it. I don't know.
I think it looks good.
I don't know. It's a little bizarre.
And then Channing Tatum shows up.
Yes.
Who else shows up? I think that's it.
Yes.
Well then you have Lemon. His name is Brian something.
He was great. He was really good. And I loved his character. All the characters were unique and they made you love them. And I would say that this movie had a lot of elements of
Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, okay.
That's his name. He's in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He's also Fastos in Eternals, the Marvel movie.
What was the second one you said?
Fastos.
I don't know what that means.
That's his name in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his name.
It's like,
he's one of the Eternals in Eternals.
oh yeah, okay. Is he the one that makes all the stuff and
technology? He's the one that's technology.
And then the guy broke his table. The guy.
What's the guy?
The bad one.
Talking about Icarus?
Yeah, Icarus. Thank you.
Talking about
He's like, what'd you make this out of? And then he breaks the table. Is that the?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yep, yeah,
okay.
That's him.
Obviously not Icarus, but like, okay, the guy that made the table. I'm sorry, I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be.
Ryan Tyree Henry. That's his name.
Yes.
He's from Atlanta.
Yes.
That's what I've watched him from. You have not watched it. I think it's a really great show. There's a lot of good black theme.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
I agree.
Awesome.
I really do. I think it has a lot of good things to it. Just one of the episodes was like a little bit. I don't know.
You have to start.
I'll start from the beginning sometime. I will. One of the episodes I was like, I don't know how to. Like this one's not getting through to me. I don't get the humor of it.
I'm sure there are other episodes out there that probably would like draw you in.
Yeah.
But hey, the final season starts this year, so
there you go. There's my chance.
Can't wait.
The action sequence though in this movie was like spot on. When the train started falling apart, I mean, we were both like out of our seats. Which I mean, we wanted to get out of our seats because our seats were so uncomfortable.
But this is a good reason for it though.
Yes, but I was like, and then they literally like killed characters like 3 times, and each time I was surprised. Each time I was like, what? They can't die?
You actually feel some sort of connection to these characters, which it's hard for a lot of movies to do.
Especially action.
Yeah, like most of the time you're like, all right, whatever, these people died. I will say the henchmen in this movie are smart, and it makes me happy that henchmen are finally smart. And they actually pointed out, I was like, hey, we're like a bomb in this thing, and why are we always the one doing this? Like, these guys aren't going to protect us. He's like, no, you're right.
Well, but I like the other guy because he's like, okay, but what choice do we have? Do you want our arms off, or do you want to open this case and hopefully we don't die? You know? Like, which I was like, that's a fair point. You should probably change career paths. I mean, this isn't a good career path at all for you.
No, but...
How much are you getting paid for this? Because it's not worth it.
I just love those little things, to like, the henchmen, like, the background people are like, hey, we're fully aware of what's going on right now. Why are we doing this? We're going to die, so, like, why? Well, but it's just those little things that, like, that's comedy. Like, that's real good comedy to me.
The end credit scene was, like, so baller. And it was interesting because, okay, I guess their theme was, throughout the movie, one thing leads to another thing, which leads to another thing, which leads to another thing. And there's always a rhyme or reason for the things that happen. And then, you know, like, the same thing with Lemon at the end. He's like, oh, look, there's a gun in the water. Pew, I shoot this guy. Okay, now I'm trying to go down the road, and I run into a tangerine truck. The name of my dead brother, you know, like, and then it was just like, I don't know. I'm really excited. I hope they come out with the second one. I'm really sad that Tangerine's dead. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sad that
he was so hot. Like, why'd you do that?
I'm actually surprised how quickly they kill off the wolf. I forgot who he was.
Bad Bunny.
Is that Bad Bunny?
Yeah,
that's
Bad Bunny. Yeah, I've never I don't even know a Bad Bunny song. I've never heard a Bad Bunny song in my life. Though. But I know a Bad Bunny.
He actually looked good on that movie. He really did.
Let me ask you though, one question, okay? This snake poison, okay? They gave it to this Bad Bunny's wife on their wedding day or whatever. They put it in the cake, okay? Mm-hmm. She was bleeding out of her eyes and projectile vomiting blood. And then the son, like, all he does is have, like, blood. And everybody else only has, like, blood out of their eyes. Nobody has, like, projectile vomiting fucking, like...
Well, they didn't show him vomiting either, though.
Who?
That's not. They didn't show him.
Well, no, but they showed the part where she injected him.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that much. She probably didn't inject him with that much before he led to it. Because he wasn't spitting out blood either.
But, like, okay, so you take your first bite of cake, and it has like a little bit in it, right?
She
Because
put the whole thing in it. She put the whole thing in the cake.
but did she bake it?
Yeah, she baked it. She was a baker.
She put the poison into the mix,
Yeah.
baked it up,
And then put more in
and
there,
then
probably.
and then you take a bite of it, right? You just take a small bite of your cake because you're like,
Well, they probably ate the whole cake.
It's my wedding. I know, but you're taking a bite, and then it takes 30 seconds for it to go through. You would only be able to take like 3 bites at least in 30 seconds. So I'm just saying, she didn't eat the whole cake, whole slice.
Some people get really hungry and eat
I
the whole
guess
cake.
it's a small detail. It's not important. But it is important because I want to know how she. It was really cool. Her projectile vomiting everywhere, blood. But my mom will not like that part. 'Cause she hates vomiting in movies and TV shows. Like she will turn it off.
It looks so fake though in the movie. It really did.
I liked it. It was cool.
I mean, yeah, it was cool, but it looked fake, obviously.
I guess that was one of the good things too about this movie is like, no matter, even if it was something so off the wall, like would never happen ever, like him jumping on a train that's going like 100 miles per hour.
That would never happen.
And then literally be able to cling on somehow, and then being able to like jab it with just like a few rings and his bare fist.
I think it was his brass knuckle.
It was just a ring. He just had a few rings.
Are you sure?
On.
I thought it was a brass knuckle.
I was pretty sure he just had a ring, but still, somehow clinging on to a moving train and like punching the window through.
He's assassin. He's skilled.
I was like,
that's how it works.
I don't know, but all I know is I need more of Aaron, whatever his name
Taylor
is.
Johnson.
Very sexy man. I need him.
This thing of Quicksilver.
I don't like him from Quicksilver. I like him from Kick-Ass, so I'm gonna think of him as Kick-Ass, and he was so hot that I wanted to die of happiness. He was so great.
He was. I do. There were really a lot of great moments. Like
it's definitely one that if you go to the theaters and see it, it's definitely worth it.
It's not a masterpiece or anything, but it's a really fun and funny movie, and I absolutely would love to watch it again. I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
Honk for Jesus, I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, if I wanted to, I'll probably look at clips of it now and then, like get some little Easter eggs or some details I maybe missed before. But Bullet Train, I was like, just let me watch it for the ride because it's worth it. It's so much fun.
I had a lot of fun. There were moments where I was like, "What's happening?" But I didn't care because it was still fun. Like, I mean, I still have no clue why. Like, okay, I kind of get it, but like in Brad Pitt's character's head, he's going on this train to steal a case to do what again?
You just stealing for,
and then to give it back, because he gave it back to the guy, and he's like, "I'm just gonna give you back this case, and then I'm gonna leave."
I think he's trying to take it back from a couple assassins that took it and get it taken back from someone. I don't know.
I don't know, but see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it was so good and I didn't care.
It all connected anyway, so it didn't matter. And that is hard to do. And again,
because the whole purpose was just that White Death ordered him to be there and was the one who perpetuated the whole thing. You know, was the one who came up with the whole deal. So it doesn't matter what his job was supposed to be. Like, I don't care. It was still so good. The fight scenes were amazing. One thing I love about fight scenes is when, bless you, they have the ability to be funny, creative, and still really fucking sick. And like, it had all those three elements, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. So, I was really happy with it, you know?
Yeah, and I would recommend anybody to watch it. It's
and Kimiko was in it.
Kimiko from The Boys. Kimiko.
Did I say it wrong?
Kimiko.
Sorry. But she is so gorgeous. Like, she is just
Because
such a gorgeous
we both
human being.
at the same time during the movie. We were like,
Oh
man,
my gosh,
she's adorable.
she is so pretty.
And then after the movie, I looked at the casting. I was like, are you serious? That was her. It's like, man.
Well, that scene was hilarious too. Like that was what is such a great scene to be in, where
so
he's like, I know. I was like, oh, like I think it was like more platinum, but it's fine. It's gorgeous. Yeah, she was gorgeous.
I do like the point you made after the movie was the whole Deadpool 2, how Ryan Reynolds was like, hey, I know you're in town. You want to film a scene real quick for like 3 seconds?
Because yeah,
and
Brad Pitt.
And then Brad Pitt's like, hey, you want to do a scene real quick for like 10 seconds, real quick? And it's literally like the same. It was literally the same amount of time, basically.
Yeah, it may not have been exactly what happened, but I like to think of it that way.
And it actually probably would have been that way too. It's like, hey, you did me a favor, let me do you one. Kind of thing. So.
But now he has to be in Bullet Train too.
I mean, he's literally the reason of everything that happened.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's sick because he's lazy.
I think I want to read the book too, honestly.
I might read the book too.
Yeah.
But then Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum were with Brad Pitt in The Lost City. Mm-hmm. That came out last year.
Oh yeah! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so literally you have all these characters that have been together already. Like actors and actresses been together already. And then Brian Tyree Henry were like, and Zazie Beetz already been together too. Mm-hmm. In Atlanta, it's like, hey, we're already here. Let's just join up real quick and do a movie. I'm like, all right, whatever. It works. It works. You know, it's fun. That's how I like to think of it. That's probably how they acted too. It's like, hey, you're in an area. Want to do a movie with me real quick? And like, hey, yeah, sure, might as well. So you know.
Well, to transition, I just wanted to talk to you about this movie that I saw that you refused to watch with me.
And
no, we have our wedding coming up, and you should watch this with me. But it was Marry Me. Mm-hmm. I made notes because I felt like it needed notes. Yeah, so it was weird. Like the filming of it. Did you ever watch this trailer?
I did watch the trailer. I watched it like a couple times.
And how'd you feel?
It was like a boring rom-com.
I mean, if you like rom-coms, it's great.
There are a couple. I think.
Like what? 50 First Dates.
That's a good one.
I'm sorry. Was that what you were gonna say? I wanted to say it before you did.
Does Happy Gilmore count as a rom-com?
No.
There's romance in it.
It's not romantic at all. He says the grossest things to this woman.
He did go to an ice skating rink to play hockey with her.
I don't care. He says the weirdest things to her, and I just...
It's not weird.
It's grody.
It's not, no. There's romance in there.
No, it's not a rom-com. It's not classified.
What about, was it Dinner with the Smucks? Or no, that's Dinner
with Schmucks as a rom-com?
No. What's it called? It's with Ben Stiller, though.
There's something about Mary.
That's probably it, then.
Is that it?
That's probably it. That's Ben Stiller. And
you like that one?
That was a good one.
That one is a rom-com, and it's a good one.
You know, Mary's like the real villain in that one.
I don't remember it well enough, but yeah, I think she is.
Mary's not a good person at all.
She's like, isn't she dating like 3 people or something?
It's like 4 or 5 different people at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, I think one is like Brett Favre too, the quarterback for the Packers.
Playing that up. Women in movies allowed to date as many men as they want. Men in movies, never. They cannot.
I'm trying to think of another rom-com that I actually like. I can't really think of one right now.
We gotta get you watching some rom-coms.
No.
Did you like She's the Man?
That's the one with
Amanda Bynes, Channing Tatum.
Oh, that's right. No, I did not watch that one.
You have? Oh my god.
Well, did I? Maybe I did watch it as a kid or when I was younger, but I didn't watch much of it.
That is the gay movie of the century.
The gay movie of the century.
Yes.
Not Brokeback Mountain.
I've never seen that.
That's Larry.
I know.
Gay movie of the century.
They're gonna take away my gay card. They're gonna be like, You're revoked. You can't have this anymore. I want to go see Bros really bad.
We will probably end up watching that. That's a rom com.
Yeah, it is. It is,
That
and it's
counts.
the first big production romantic comedy. Um, I'm saying a lot of words.
That's focused on
That's focused
LGBTQ.
on a gay couple. Yes, and it looks hilarious. Like the more I watch the trailers, I'm like, I think I really will like this. My notes from Marry Me. I just wanted to say that Samuel from Got was in it. The host from The Circle was in it. There was the typical daddy daughter relationship of I hate you, dad, you suck, you're the worst.
Wow, like every like generic movie,
Yes.
family
Like,
movie.
oh my gosh, dad, you're embarrassing me. Don't walk beside me when we go to school. Oh my gosh. It's so stupid. They were filming in a classroom and it literally looked like it was in a like the camera was in a fishbowl. That's what it looked like. And I was like,
Like
what is
panorama.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is happening? Because it hadn't been that way for the whole entire movie. And then all of a sudden it transitioned from that to looking like a toddler was holding the camera and just like shaking. Like, because the camera was shaking. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
I ran out of money.
Owen Wilson looks like an animatronic. Feels so bad because it's not his fault, I'm sure. It's probably the makeup they put on this man, but he looked like an animatronic. His eyes were like weird. Like, I don't know what they did to his eyes. It looked like they caked on like foundation up there or something, and it looked like he was wearing a wig. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening. JLo looked really hot though.
Like
Which
always.
I know. Well, I thought you didn't like JLo.
No, I think she ruined the Super Bowl halftime for me.
Oh my gosh, no,
Shakira,
she didn't.
Shakira was the best part.
She was really good. Yeah, Shakira was good too, but
Shakira
JLo was
was
good
literally
too.
should have been a solo act because she killed it, and then
You're
J Lo ruined it.
biased.
It's not biased.
You love Shakira.
I don't even listen to Shakira that much.
Okay. So I said the songs are kind of dope in that movie. They had a lot of songs. One was called Church, and it was really catchy. It was kind of stupid, but it was very catchy. And her outfit was like banging in it. And okay, this is the line I wrote down because it was so cringy. I couldn't bear it. Owen Wilson has his phone out, and like JLo's like, "Hey, text me." And her manager is like, "OMG, he can't even text with that," because he like pulls out like a flip phone. And Owen Wilson says, "OMG, yes he can." And I was like, "Oh." And it was like supposed to be really hilarious, I felt like, and I was like, that's a bad joke. It's not good. Sarah Silverman also looked hot. And then I said the director's name, Kat, with a K-A-T. The main character is Kat. And when people do that, I'm like, are you trying to live a fantasy here? I see you. I see you. I would never do that because that would just annoy me having people be like, saying my name the whole time while I'm trying to direct a movie. Like my ear would be like, don't do that. And it was based off a graphic novel, which I don't know how that would work.
I would never read it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a very good graphic novel.
How do you make that into a graphic novel?
I don't know. It wasn't a horrible movie though. Like I think Jennifer JLo, no, Jenny from the Block. I think she is a very good rom-com actress and she can lift anybody up. I think Owen Wilson is not made for rom-com acting and he should never do that. He should do things
acting before.
When
I'm pretty sure he has.
Because whenever I think of Owen Wilson and I think of something he's done really well at, I think of something like Shanghai Noon. That was like
that's a good movie.
Really good. He is an action star, I think, through and through, and there's no shame in that. Like Night at the Museum, he did good at that.
Do you call Marley and Me rom-com?
I guess Wedding Crashers is a rom-com.
Is Marley and Me a rom-com? Was that more a family?
No, it's a family.
I mean,
but Wedding Crashers was a good one. So, I mean, I guess that's not always true. It's weird to see him playing like a dorky geek, I guess. Maybe I like him more rough. I like him doing rough things and being a rough guy, Like, Because in this one, he was like a math nerd, and it's like, I don't know, it just didn't fit him. And they really did him wrong on the makeup.
Owen Wilson really hasn't been doing much since Cars, and I mean he's still doing Cars right now, but
He did Wonder with Jennifer Garner.
I still haven't watched that movie.
I haven't watched that either. I don't know if it's worth watching. Is it worth watching?
Her, my mom, and sister both watched it, but they said it's good. I probably won't watch it. I don't know. It doesn't look interesting to me. I know they're making a sequel. They had a trailer out for it. That's like.
I didn't think it was a sequel as much as it's a loosely tied in story. Very loose.
I thought in the trailer it says it'll be a sequel to it.
I'm not for sure. I know they talk about him, and it has something to do with the Holocaust too.
That's great.
I don't know.
That's great.
It may be called Whitebird because that's by the same person who wrote Wonder. I think his name is R.J. Palacio. I'm probably butchering that, but
I don't know. I probably won't watch it. I probably won't read it. So
I don't like Jennifer Garner, and I don't have any good reason why. I just don't like her, and I don't know. I mean, she was great in 13 Going on 30.
Did I even watch that movie? I don't think I did.
You never watched 13 Going on 30.
You actually like every single movie I've never watched.
That
is
is
like a surprise to you.
13 Going on 30 is like sensational. She has the Thriller dance. And it's like, it's so cringy, but everybody loves that scene. But it's really cringy. If you saw an adult woman just like at a office party and she's like, Thriller, like fully getting into it, you'd be like, what in the world? Stop. Judy Greer's in it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
That's funny.
She's great. She's fun. So.
But I think it's been a great episode. This one was National Cinema Day.
Woohoo!
Did our movies, was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I probably won't do 2 movies back to back every year. That's
exhausting. I can't.
It's too much. I mean, if you're a big movie fanatic, go right ahead. But I can't do that again.
I'm uncomfortable. I can do it here because I can get comfortable. I can lay on the couch. I can stretch my legs. The seats at the movie theaters are so uncomfortable. They need to get better seats.
Oh, yeah, like one of those lounging chairs at like the Kansas City or somewhere else, like one of the bigger theaters. But yeah.
So next time we have a challenge for both of us. Yes. I've already completed it because I'm just and I came up with it, so I had a head start. I want you to try to figure out my favorite top 5 movies, and I vice versa, and
TV shows.
Oh, and TV shows, yeah. I already got my list written down, and if you guys want to say what you think our favorite movie is or TV shows would be, let us know because
or just give us your list of top 5 and we can talk about it later too.
Yeah. But you won't guess it. Just to let you know. But you can put in the effort.
Probably. Again, thank you everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Do follow us on Twitter at ISE Podcasts and also YouTube at it's actually my Twitch name right now, but I will change it later. It is Zockman176. We have all the episodes on there so far. So please give it a listen, and thank you again for tuning in.
Thanks. We'll see you next week.